boys and girls, and welcome back to Let's Read Lone Wolf Book 5, Shadow on the Sand. Alright, it's been about a week, and as I requested, you guys have been debating the matter furiously, which is fantastic, because if you debated that much over 2 powers, I cannot wait to what you do this week. After this book. But, you guys voted, and, overall, you guys chose, Mind Shield. It was fairly close, though. Some people wanting Mind Blast, other people choosing Mind Shield. I think, in the end, defense prevailed over offense. One of the main reasons being that I could always just pull out the Summer Sword if I was in deep, deep trouble. So, Mind Shield it is, and we don't need to get any equipment, as I explained in the last episode, because we already have a full backpack. I think we took the Potion of Lamsfur, and that was it. Alrighty then. So we have every Kai discipline except for Mind Blast. We are one bad dude now, and yeah, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started, because this is quite a long adventure, almost twice as long as everything else. As all the other books. So let's go. Let's get it on, as I like to say. Shall we? Before we do that, actually, let's take a look at the covers, shall we? I don't think I showed you the covers. So hang on a second. And the people reading the audiobooks are like, we don't care, but everyone else might care. Let's see. Lone Wolf, Shadow on the Sand. Images. Alright, so we have the old one, which is a picture of some dude. I don't want to ruin who that is, but some dude with like a telescope or a sword or something. I don't really know. We have another picture of one of the Shadow on the Sand books, and that is a Dark Lord. As the same guy, it's a Dark Lord. That's all I'm gonna say. Then you have the cover I have, my favorite cover. And this is an epic cover, isn't it? I mean, look at this. Lone Wolf is flying on some sort of hawk eagle thing, and obviously a Hailgast or some sort of undead has leaped to his eagle from a dragon that he was flying below it, and Lone Wolf is just kicking his butt with the Summer Sword. I mean, that is an epic, epic cover. And then I don't know where the new one is. I've never seen the new one, so let's see if we can't find what the new one looks like. Oh, I think I found it. No, that's Kingdoms of Terror. Oh, Shadow on the Sand. Here we go. I've never seen the new cover for Shadow on the Sand. Oh, that is an epic cover. Let's see if I can get to the full-size image for you guys. Maybe. You guys are just like, get to the story, but come on, this is a cool cover. You should take a look at it. And why is it sending me here to photo bucket? Obviously, that's why it's sending me to photo bucket. But it's not showing me the picture. It's not showing me the picture at all. Stop it. No, I don't want to share it. Stop it. Stop it. What? Grrr. Let's zoom in, shall we? There we go. Ha! Finally. Okay. Now that's almost more epic than the other cover. It's a picture of Lone Wolf with the Summer Sword, about to enter mortal battle with Haken, I think his name is. I forget. It's the Dark Lord that I was talking about on the other cover. It's yeah, that's actually a pretty cool cover. I like that. I think I might like the other one just a little bit more, but that is nifty. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to the story, shall we? Okay. For 25 days, the Vasagonian galley sails on a steady course for the home port of Barakish, with only a brief stop at the Duranese harbor of Port Bax to break a safe but monotonous journey. You use your time aboard the ship to good purpose, learning the Vasagonian language from the ship's crew. They are only too eager to teach you, asking only in return tales of your adventures in the Last Lands. For many of the sailors, these are the most exciting stories they have ever heard. By the time you reach Barakish, you have both mastered their language and won their respect. Now, I just thought of something. Maybe we should take a look at the map so that you guys understand where we're headed. Because everything up until now has pretty much been done in Summerland, with the exception of the cult. And this is actually south of Summerland. I know it's kind of hard to see. There's a little zoom in for you. Summerland, I believe, is up here somewhere in the north. And yeah, I think so. And where we're headed, we're sailing south. This is Barakish on the coastline. This is a desert kingdom. Remember I said in Book 4, the Vasagonians are like the Islamic culture. It's a desert kingdom. You have Barakish here, you have Chula, you have other cities down here, and this is where the adventure is going to be taking place. Alright? Alright. Let's get back to the story. Oh, hang on a second. I gotta update stuff, don't I? Alright. Hang on. Alright, sorry, I had to get my combat skill and endurance and all that up to date. There's a little caption here underneath the map I didn't notice before that talks about Vasagonia. The Empire of Vasagonia is a vast desert realm. The northern coast runs roughly east for several hundred miles before it turns in a lazy, rugged arc to the south. Roughly at the apex of this arc is the city of Barakesh, the capital of Vasagonia. The 6 other cities of this vast arid country are mainly to be found on the thin coastal strip, such as Ferverzan in the northwest and Bistuan in the south. Barakish is cut off from most of the rest of Vasagonia by a semicircle of the Kabar Range. These mountains meet the sea on the eastern coast of Cape Kabar, which overlooks the trio of islands. For all of its magnificent coastline, Vasagonia lacks fresh water, with only 6 major oases in the entire realm, half of which line the trail to the south of the Durinur Mountains between Ikarish and Berabalo. So, basically, you have a good idea of where we're headed. A very dry place. Very different from where we've been before. So, yeah. Alright. It is early afternoon when the ramparts of the desert capital are first sighted on the horizon. You push your way through the cheering crew and join the envoy on the prow of the ship. Beaming with pride, he hands you a telescope and invites you to view the land of his birth. The sight is indeed breathtaking. You stare in fascination at the golden domes, minarets, and green-tilted roof shimmering beneath the desert sun, and marvel at the splendor of the grand palace, which dominates the magnificent city. Then you notice that from every golden turret of the palace flutters a long black pendant. You ask the envoy of the meaning of the black flags. Horror floods across his face, and he snatches the telescope from your hands. By the spirit of the Mahan, he is dead! The Zakan is dead! As the bad news spreads through the ship, you pray that the peace treaty will be signed and honored by the new Zakan successor. However, the envoy is less than hopeful. The harbor of the Barakish is deserted save for a handful of citizens clad in black, and the only sound that greets you is the toll of a funeral bell echoing through the harbor on this day of mourning. Then a horse-drawn carriage enters the harbor square, escorted by a cavalry of palace guard. It halts, and a doorman in turquoise robes steps out to meet you. 1,000 greetings, Lone Wolf. I am Maruk, and I welcome you to our city on behalf of my master, his most sublime magnificence, Zakan Kima. The envoy gasps upon hearing the name of the new Zakan. He turns to speak, his eyes wide with fear. It's a trap! You must... His warning is cut short by the blade of the Morik's dagger. Suddenly, scores of black-clad warriors emerge from the shadows. They are the Sharnazim. Right? Sharnazim? Yeah, the Sharnazim, elite Vasagonian bodyguards. They close in, surrounding you on every side. You must act quickly if you are to survive this deadly trap. Now, I want to let you guys know this in advance, just so that it adds some excitement to it. Largely, the first part of this adventure is you trying to evade them. And the reason why I tell you this is because at any time, any wrong decision, and you're captured, and pretty much you'll be skipping straight to the adventure. So the longer you remain uncaptured for, the longer the adventure goes. Because basically, yeah, like I said, once you get captured, you kind of go on to the end of the adventure, or towards the end of the adventure. So I'm just letting you guys know that. It's been a long time since I've read this, so I don't remember what's the right moves to make. But basically, there are 2 or 3 paths that will take you either to where you get captured very late, or you don't get captured at all. But most paths lead you to getting captured. So it'll be fun to see how far I can make before they get me. And I just wanted to let you guys know that. So, yeah. Alright then. If you wish to stand and fight against these overwhelming odds, and I think I can make it to where I don't get captured, but I don't remember. If you wish to stand and fight against these overwhelming odds, turn to page 36. If you wish to surrender... yeah, I don't think so. Or if you wish to do the smart thing and run back to the galley. Because, look, we may be bad, but I'm not going to go try and take on a whole city full of soldiers. So we're going to run back to the galley. Take 'em, shouts Mark. But take 'em alive! You sprint towards the distant galley. The crew are still unaware of the desperate situation. They have not witnessed the murder of the envoy and are still oblivious to your peril. Before you can shout for help, a horseman cuts across your path, blocking your access to the ship. If you wish to attack the horseman, if you wish to evade combat by diving into the sea, or if you decide to surrender. Look, I'm sorry guys, I'm going to be picking not very heroic actions right now because I want to try and evade capture. And my thinking is, I think you can fight him, I can still get away, but I'm not going to take that chance. So we're going to dive into the sea! You hit the water and swim submerged until the pain in your lungs forces you to surface. Sharnazim are running in every direction, trying to surround the quay or quay. I was told it was quay. I don't know. God, I am such a professional reader. And prevent your escape. Gulping another breath, you dive again and swim towards the cluster of small boats less than 50 yards away. Through the clear blue water, it is easy to see the rubbish that litters the bed of the harbor, mementos of all the merchant ships that have docked in the quayside. Clinging to one old anchor is a strange jelly-like blob. A mass of short tubes sticks out from all its sides, and a long hook-like scope hangs beneath its rubber body. Without warning, the blob suddenly jets towards you, propelled by water from its massive breathing tubes. It is a bloodlug, and it is hungry for your flesh. If you possess Kai discipline of animal kinship, I do possess the Kai discipline of animal kinship. You use your Kai discipline to force the creature away. The bloodlug changes direction and jets towards a squid that has taken refuge in the corner in a large copper urn. You continue swimming, but keep a watchful eye on the bloodlug. It engulfs and devours the helpless squid. Hang on, I'm going to go back because I have a picture of it here somewhere. Aha! Right there. Alright. Right here is the bloodlug. It looks kind of like a brain with tubes and a fin. Yeah. Alright. You surface beside a covered skiff, anxious to avoid the scavengers in the waters of the Barakesh harbor. You haul yourself aboard and hide beneath the boat's canopy of woven rushes. You are breathless from your swim, but you dare not make a sound. Maruk's men are everywhere, racing along the harbor walls, their eyes searching the water for any sign of you. If you are to escape, you must think of something to divert their attention. If you have the Kai discipline of mind over matter, I do have that. Oh, I love saying that because I'm not going to be able to soon. As you stare out across the harbor, you notice a large white-domed warehouse near the water's edge. A platform on the upper floor overhangs a merchant. On the platform on the upper floor overhangs a merchant dhow moored at the quay below. On this platform are several earthware tons. A huge spice. Okay, never mind. On this platform are several earthware tons, huge spiceware containers destined for the trading imperiums of Ragadorn. You focus your attention on one of these tons and concentrate all your Kai skill in making it move. Sweat pours down your face from the strain, but you soon hear a distant crash that confirms your success. The ton has fallen and shattered onto the deck of the dhow. Maruk orders his black-clad troops to search the area, threatening them with death if they allow you to escape. You bite your lip and wait for the chance to run. Creeping from one boat to the next, you reach a narrow flight of stone steps. At the top of the steps, beyond a small paved square, lies a maze of crooked alleyways that disappear into the shadows of the thieves' quarter. You are less than 20 feet from safety when a cry echoes across the water. There he is! You sprint along the deserted passage and climb a stairway into the open courtyard. The sound of hooves clattering on the cobblestones below urge you onwards. There are 3 possible exits from the courtyard: a high nail-studded gate to the left, an alley to your right, and a straight paved pathway that leads to an arch. You must make a quick decision, for Maruk's men are close on your heels. Oh, great. If you have the Kai display of tracking. Oh, I do have that! Haha! Your Kai senses warns you that the alley is a dead end. If you take the exit from the square, you will certainly be trapped. Only 2 other choices remain: the high nail-studded gate to your left, or the path directly ahead. The gate? Sure, why not? Let's take the gate. Alright, yeah, okay. You twist the handle, but the gate is locked. You are about to turn and run when suddenly the gate flies open. A man stands in the doorway. Quickly, Northlander, I will hide you. The man steps back to allow you to enter. Aww, how nice. Wait. If you wish to enter, if you wish to refuse and climb the path towards the arch. Oh god, crap. Do I accept his help? I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna get me trapped right. Yeah, let's accept his help because we're dumb like that. The man slams the gate and draws the bolt. Seconds later, you hear footfalls of the Shar Narzim as they rush inside the courtyard. Go inside, whispers the man, pointing to the darkened interior of his house. I shall get rid of the soldiers. You enter the house and climb a staircase to a large, airy room, which looks out over the marketplace. Long black flags hang from the windows of the hall opposite, and the sounds of mourning can be heard through the open doors. If you possess the Kai discipline of Sixth Sense, yes, I do. Have that discipline. Your Kai says to tell you to beware of the man who helped you. I knew it! I was like, God, I bet you this guy's gonna try and trick me. He intends to betray you for a purse of silver. If you wish to stay in the house, what? Why would I stay in the house? I'm gonna escape through the window. Obviously, thank God for Sixth Sense, yes? You drop to the street below and run across the marketplace towards the hall. The building is full of people kneeling in prayer. You notice an avenue leading off to the right, which ends at an archway too narrow for more than 1 horse to pass. To your left, another alley leads down to the harbor. Oh god, all these choices. Do you wish to enter the hall? Do you wish to turn right and head for the archway, or do you wish to head double back to the harbor? No, let's enter the hall, see if we can't disguise ourselves. You raise the hood of your cloak and hurry through the open doors into the dark, cool hall. The people are kneeling in front of a pulpit where a holy man dressed in flowing robes of black and gold reads aloud from a gem-encrusted book. Behind him, the face of the late Zakan, immortalized in a tapestry suspended from the roof by huge silken cords, looks down on the mourners. The congregation is wrapped in prayer, and nobody sees you enter. The ceremony soon comes to an end, and you are able to slip past Morik's men as the mourners flood into the streets. Oh, yay! Good choice. You enter a wide street where vendors compete for space from their stalls, beneath the overhanging balconies. The market is crowded with people. They each wear a black sash as a mark of respect to their dead Zakan. But here, unlike most Barakish, business continues as normal. In most of Barakish, business continues as normal. You pass a stall festooned with black sashes, each costing 2 gold crowns. If you wish to buy a sash, pay the vendor and mark it on your action chart, which you wear as a special item you wear over your tunic. Yes, I will definitely do that, because we need to blend in. Alright, so we have 48 gold crowns now. Alright. You hurry away from the stall and dodge into a narrow passage lined with eating houses and small taverns, where the smell of food is mingled with the odor of stale wine, and the air is alive with chatter and gossip. Your attention is drawn to a notice freshly pasted on the tavern wall. The bold headline reads, "The Zakan is dead! Long live the Zakan!" If you wish to stop and read the poster, turn to page 88. If you wish to continue along the passage, I wish to stop and read the poster. The poster is written from right to left in Vasagonian script. The time you spent learning the language aboard the galley was well spent, and you have little difficulty in translating the proclamation. His most illustrious majesty Zakan Modala the Exalted has passed into the realm of the Mahan. May his spirit never die. By the grace of the Council of the Kadi, the Funtal of Karakala, and the Judicar of Barakish, it is decreed that Kamar, Emir of Firufuzan, protector of the Dry Main, shall by right claim the throne of Vasagonia. Through this unity of the 7 cities, he will lead his people to greatness. Long may he reign. A scuffle breaks out at the end of the passage as a handful of Sharnazim try to push their way through the crowd. In the confusion, a fruit stall is overturned, and the owner curses the clumsy soldiers at the top of his voice. There is a sudden silence as a luckless man has been beheaded for his insolence. Woo. So in other words, don't complain that your stall is thrown over. Okay. I'll be sure to remember that in the future. You turn and run, splashing through a shallow drainage channel running the length of the foul passage. The passage ends at a tree-lined plaza. You must find somewhere to hide. Your fair skin and Kai cloak and tunic make you stand out in the city crowd. To your left is a small dwelling with a curious wooden sign hanging above the door, carved in the shape of a fish. To your right is a tavern. The sign above the tavern door seems oddly appropriate. The Hunting Lord. The Hunted Lord, I'm sorry. Does Lone Wolf actually think of himself as a lord? Oh, that's cute. If you have the Kai discipline of healing, which I do, turn to page 53. You recognize the sign of the fish. It is a symbol of an order of monks known as the Redeemers, a silent order who are devoted to a lifetime of prayer and pilgrimage, and the study of the healing arts. If you wish to enter the dwelling, or if you wish to enter the tavern, I'm going to enter the dwelling of the healing people. Maybe they'll want to help me. The house smells strongly of burnt incense. You enter a narrow hallway lined with chairs and walk slowly along the central aisle towards the fountain, flanked by a pair of massive orange-red pillars. A man, dressed from head to toe in black, appears from behind the left-hand pillar and walks towards you. Suddenly, you hear a Maruk's men enter the plaza and cast an anxious glance towards the open door. The man sees you are nervous and silently points to the cellar door. Aww. You know, the last guy that tried to help us out wasn't so good, but this is an order of healers. I'm gonna trust them. I wish to hide in the cellar, because I think going back out to the plaza would be a bad idea. Of course, then again, we all saw what happened last time I went into a cellar. Book 4. Oh well. You rush into the cellar and bolt the door. Pressing your ear to the gnarled timber, you listen intently to the noise of Maruk's angry soldiers. They have entered the building, and it will only be a matter of time before they notice the cellar door. You cast your eyes around the room. It is empty except for a coil of rope and a tinderbox. Then you notice that there is another way out of the small stone room. An iron grill in the center of the floor. However, the horrible stench rising from it turns your stomach. Let's see, if you wish to leave the cellar by the grill, turn to page 51. If you wish to stay and prepare for combat, and most likely be captured, yeah, I don't think so. I'm going in the sewers. Hooray! A slippery ladder disappears into the dark, stench-filled shaft. You gulp a lungful of air and climb down, locking the trapdoor behind you. When you finally reach the bottom of the shaft, your worst fears are confirmed. You have entered the Bagadors, the main drainage sewer of Barakish. You recall one of the crewmen aboard the galley, an old man nicknamed the Stink because he smelled so much, having been sentenced to 1 year's imprisonment in the Bagadors for a crime he did not commit. Peering along the gloomy tunnels, you wonder how he survived for so long in the dank, filthy sewer. God, that's a horrible sentence, isn't it? I mean, I sentence you to the sewers. Suddenly, your thoughts are disturbed by a sound of splintering wood. Chunks of shattered timber rain down upon you as the Sharanazim force open the trapdoor. The heavy iron grill glances off your shoulder as it falls. You stifle a cry of pain, but you lose 1 endurance point due to the wound. I'll get that back in a second. I'm not even going to bother marking it. This section of the the Baga Daruz is a junction where 3 channels meet. You must quickly decide which channel to take, for Maruk's men are now descending the ladder. You see what I mean by all these choices and you make the wrong one and you're screwed? Thank God we have the discipline of tracking, huh? If you have the discipline of tracking, head to page 173. And could you imagine trying to do this book with only like the 4 skills you start off with? if you hadn't read the books before. Man, if you didn't have Sixth Sense, if you didn't have Animal Discipline or Mind Over Matter or Tracking, you probably would have been screwed by now. Judging by the direction of the sluggish flow, the right channel appears to head off to the north. The vast tide of sewage and garbage from the Bagadaruz is swept out towards the coast until it emerges at the Kiras, a village northwest of the capital. There it makes life both difficult and unpleasant for the poor local fishermen, especially during the summer months. If you take the north channel, you should eventually reach the coast. The left channel heads south, running below the very heart of the capital. In the maze of tunnels that feed into the Bagadurs, you should be able to find at least one exit into the streets above. Straight ahead, the channel leads off to the west. It is by far the least fetid and contaminated of the three. During the voyage, you remember the stink telling you about the Grand Madani, a great aqueduct over 40 miles long, which channels fresh water from the River Day into the city. As a result, the citizens of Barakish, unlike the inhabitants of other Vesagonian cities, enjoy a lavish supply of fresh water. The west channel will lead to that water source. Oh god. So it doesn't really tell me which channel to take, just where each channel goes. Ugh. Alright. Let me think here. I don't want to go to the fresh water source because that would probably lead to nowhere. Just a bunch of fresh water. Or might lead me to upwards in the city. And I don't think I want to go deeper in the city either. I think my best chance would be to try and get to the coastline and find a ship home or something. So I think that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take the north channel and try and get out of the city. You wade into the water thick with scum and try not to breathe through your nose. The glutinous mire is clotted with green and black filth, and with your every movement the surface cracks, releasing vile gas. You cover your mouth with your Kai cloak, but the appalling stench makes you retch and choke. A loud splash behind you warns that Maruk's men are not far away. As you quicken your step at regular intervals, circular chutes disappear into the ceiling. Many are stained bright yellow, white, or reddish brown. This section of the Bagadarus passes beneath the linen quarter of Barakish, where the Guild of Linen Weavers operate their fuller shops. The chutes dump waste dye straight into the sewer, making the oily water even more garish in color. You spot a ripple in the water ahead. It moves nearer, the wake of a submerged sewer creature. Can something survive in that? That's disgusting. Instinctively, you flatten yourself against the dye-stained wall as you feel the movement of the water against your waist, and watch in fear and fascination as the ripple of water disappears into the tunnel. Suddenly, a fearful scream bursts out in the darkness. Maruk has lost one of his men. The terrible cries of the Sharnazim warrior chill your spine, but your instincts tell you to press on while you have the advantage. The channel soon reaches a junction where another tunnel heads off to the west. Oh god. If you wish to enter the new tunnel or if you wish to continue northwards. Oh crap. I'm going to keep going northwards, try and get out of the city. Like I said, follow my original plan. You press on for about a mile until you can go no further. A huge iron grating blocks the tunnel. The decomposing carcass of a giant lizard has been washed up against the bars. Bones are clearly visible where the dead flesh has rotted or been eaten away. The bars are firmly fixed and it will be impossible to continue in this direction. Close to the dead lizard is a narrow stone platform, juts out from the wall. Beyond a platform, you notice a low arch leading to some stairs ascending out of the sewer. The sound of Maruk's voice drifts along the tunnel. He is urging his Sharnazim in your direction. If you wish to climb the steps, or if you wish to fight your pursuers, turn to page 60. I wish to climb the steps! I want to get out of here!